weapon system improvements. On alert since 1959, the first ICBM, the Atlas missile.
Russia has fired the first warning shot. The Kremlin has hit back strongly after US President Donald Trump hinted that Washington could resume nuclear weapons testing, a move that could shatter a 30-year global moratorium and revive Cold War tensions. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov reminded reporters that Moscow still adheres to the nuclear test ban, but warned if someone abandons it, Russia will act accordingly. His words carried a chilling undertone that Moscow would not stand idle if Washington crosses the line.
Regarding the tests of the Burevestnik and the Poseidon, we hope that President Trump was correctly informed about it. There is no way it can be interpreted as nuclear testing.
Peskov also dismissed Trump's accusation that Russia and China were already conducting nuclear tests. "We are not aware of anyone carrying out such tests," he said, echoing President Vladimir Putin's repeated warning that Russia would respond symmetrically to any US provocation.
I would like to remind you about President Vladimir Putin's statement, which has been repeatedly reiterated. Of course, if someone abandons the moratorium, Russia will act accordingly.
Russia says it had no choice. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova declared Moscow was forced to develop nuclear-powered weapons like the Burevestnik intercontinental cruise missile in response to NATO's destabilizing missile defense moves.
The message in such cases is usually the same. Russia is systematically taking steps to maintain the effectiveness and reliability of its national strategic deterrence forces and capabilities, their technological maturity and adequacy in the face of existing threats. The purpose of the tests is to ensure our country's unconditional readiness to defend its fundamental and vital interests, as well as to demonstrate to any potential adversary that Russia is capable of delivering a guaranteed and decisive response to any potential aggression on their part. As the Russian leadership has repeatedly stated, the development of systems like the Burevestnik is forced and takes place in order to maintain the strategic balance. In particular, our country has to respond to NATO's increasingly destabilizing actions in the area of missile defense.
The Kremlin's response came after Trump, during his South Korea visit ahead of a meeting with Xi Jinping, declared that the US should test on an equal basis with Russia and China, signaling a dramatic shift in US nuclear policy.
Why did you write your Truth Social about nuclear testing? What about resuming nuclear testing? What prompted you to do that right before the meeting?
It had to do with others. They seem to all be nuclear testing.
Russia?
We have more nuclear weapons than anybody. We don't do testing. We've halted it many years ago. But with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also.
Any details around the testing, sir? Like where, when?
It'll be announced. We have test sites.
Experts say Trump's comments could destabilize decades of nuclear restraint upheld under the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, which has kept the world's test sites silent since 1992. Peskov clarified that Russia's Burevestnik, nuclear-powered missile, and Poseidon underwater drone tests cannot be interpreted as nuclear detonations, a direct rebuttal to Trump's claims. Putin's unveiling of these advanced strategic weapons, however, underscores Moscow's message. Russia is modernizing its arsenal and prepared to match any escalation from Washington. With both superpowers rattling sabers, The global test ban hangs by a thread. One reckless step could trigger the first nuclear detonation in 3 decades and usher in a new, perilous age of nuclear brinkmanship.